your neck called and it says it needs a break. That's right, I'm calling you out for all of your tech neck tendencies. And today we're going to work on the muscles right here where we have that like pinch right in between our shoulder blades that we can't quite like ever stretch out. That's what this video is all about. Are you ready? You're going to need a block, a strap, and a chair for today's practice. Let's get started. We're going to begin seated in a chair. Take a deep inhale. Open mouth exhale. Place one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Deep inhale. Exhale. Deep inhale. Exhale. Begin to seal the lips and breathe just through the nose. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. One more time. All right, scoot your booty to the edge of the seat. Give yourself a squeeze and say thank you, body, for showing up today. Appreciate you more than you know. Now I want you to take your right hand out in front and stare at your thumbnail. And then keep staring as you bring it all the way around, keeping your chest forward and letting your arm just come towards the back of the room, towards it. Doesn't have to like stretch that far. This is your range of motion. Just kind of mark on the wall like where you see your thumb. And then go ahead and bring it all the way back to the front. Let's do it for the other side. So thumb is out in front. We're staring at our thumbnail and we're going to bring it all the way back towards the wall. And we're going to stop someplace and mark it on the wall. Take a deep inhale, exhale, and then stare at your thumb as you bring it all the way back. And then go ahead and bring it down. All right. So now I want you to place your hands on that place where maybe you feel some pain. So it's like right at the base of the neck, and let those shoulders come up by your ears and feel that tension that happens when you do that. And now relax your shoulders down and feel how it kind of goes away, right? Never all the way because we love to hold tension there. Okay. Now go ahead and bring your thumb all the way out in front, and this time I want you to look in the opposite direction. So thumb is going right, we are looking left. We're going to look left and then come right back to center. Look left, come right back to center. And let's do this a couple more times, going back and forth with our arm. And then let's do the other side. So thumb is out in front and we're going to look right and then come back to center. Look right and come back to center. And just notice. You feel a little stretch along the front of the shoulder. And then just notice where your gaze goes as you look over that right shoulder. And then stare at your thumb when you bring it back to center and then bring it all the way back down. Now shake out your shoulders. Okay, let's see where we landed. Remember, our traps love to like be tense and we're trying to release them. So this is what we're feeling here is our traps. Trapezoid muscles. And so bring our thumb right back out, look at our thumb, and then this time bring it all the way back over and just see where it lands. Just notice, does it go a little bit further? Is it not as far? Where does it go? And then stare at it as you bring it all the way back. Perfect. Other side. Check out that thumbnail, stare at it, then bring it all the way back over. Deep inhale, exhale. Just notice where it's at. This one got much more open. So just notice the difference between the two. And stare at it as you bring it all the way back to center and bring it back down. That's a quick way to just kind of like check in with those traps. And now I want us to check in with our lats. So since we have a lot of tension here, me too, I am not immune to tension in my neck. we're going to work on strengthening these muscles here. So take your right hand and place it kind of under your armpit. You could even raise your left arm up, and your right hand kind of comes underneath your armpit. Now, I want you to think about squeezing your armpit, squeezing the muscles there, and feeling like a tightness that's happening in your shoulder blade. You feel that? Take a deep inhale, exhale. If you're not quite feeling it, think about pulling your elbow down and see if that helps. So pull the elbow down, squeeze, lift it back up, squeeze. See if that kind of activates something in this part of your arm. Now let's do the other side. So arm is raised. Think about squeezing that shoulder blade down. And if it's not quite happening, that's okay. Just notice you can bring that elbow down and see if you can activate it a little bit more. Maybe you lift it up, try without bending the elbow. Okay, I'm gonna turn around just so you can see from this angle what it looks like. So hand is here, shoulder blade goes down. And then other side, hand is here, shoulder blade goes down. Okay? That's all we're doing. We're just kind of checking in on our bodies because we want to know what we're doing. Because what's going to happen is as we go through today's practice, we will have the traps want to come to the party. And we got to remind our lats that they got to do the work. So this is our lats. These are our traps. So now that we know what we're working on, we can choose to focus on that area. One other thing I want to point out to you is that your shoulder blades are in the back of your back, behind your rib cage. And as you bring them up, they kind of go like this, right? And as you bring them down, they go like this. So up, down, up, down. So squeezing together, opening apart, squeezing together, opening apart. That's the action that will happen in our first move. Our shoulder blades will be opened apart, and you might think like this, but they actually kind of go like that. So it's just interesting how our bodies work. So go ahead and find a position in front of the chair. You can also do this from tabletop, but we're doing it from chair just to make it a little more accessible. So hands will come down to the chair, and what I want you to do is squeeze your shoulder blades together with your arms straight, and then open up your shoulder blades with your arms straight. So we're just working within the shoulder blades. And so just to give you a visual, this is what it looks like on my back. So squeeze the shoulder blades, open the shoulder blades. Squeeze the shoulder blades, open the shoulder blades. We're not raising them. We're not lowering them. We're working within their range of motion here, okay? So do this a few more times. So squeeze, open, squeeze, open. Look in between your hands. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. All right, go ahead and come up, shake out your wrists, and grab your strap. Okay, let's do a little flossing. So for the flossing, take your strap and fold it in half. And think about your arms are like parallel to your shoulders. So kind of like that, right? So out in front, and they're not super wide. They could be a little bit, but for this move, we're trying to parallel it, okay? Okay, so now lift them up and overhead, and notice how those shoulders want to come to the party. So try to think about those lats turning on as we raise them up. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe you just think about your shoulder blades sliding down. So squeeze them up by your shoulder blades, or squeeze your shoulders by your ears, and then bring them all the way down. That's turning on your lats, up by your ears, and then all the way down. Up by your ears, all the way down. Nice, yes. Now pull with your right hand. So now we're getting even more of a stretch on the side. And then pull with your left, get more of a stretch on that other side. We're just working into the shoulders, not the side body. So notice I'm not doing this. I'm just pulling enough to like open up those shoulders. Pull, going the other way. And I kind of bent my elbow there. So try to keep your arms straight. All right, let's find some circles. So we're gonna go right hand is in front, and then left hand comes in front and up and over. So right hand in front, and then left hand comes in front and up and over. One more time in this direction. All the way. Nice. Now go in the opposite direction. Ooh, I got a pop on that one. Isn't it interesting how our bodies just kind of decide when they want to open up? Go ahead and bring your arms all the way up. Now squeeze up by the ears and bring them all the way down. Squeeze up by the ears and bring them all the way down. So we're kind of letting those traps know, like, I get it, you want to be invited, but you're not. Now squeeze them down as far as you can while also pulling the strap apart. It's hard, right? So we're like actively like trying to pull the strap apart above our heads, I know. And then we're actively trying to keep those shoulder blades down as we pull it up above our heads. So this is what it looks like from behind. Shoulders are up by the ears. Shoulders are down, and then we're actively pulling them apart. So that's going to activate those lats even more. I know. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. All right, let's release that. Whew. Okay. Roll out your shoulders. Roll them all the way up, all the way down. And now go forward. Good. Give them just a moment of rest. Go ahead and set your strap down. Okay, now arms are out by our sides, and we're gonna scoop up some energy and reach them up and overhead, and then push down some energy. So flip the hands. So inhale, we scoop up. Exhale, we flip, we come down. We do this one more time. This angle. Now bring your hands in a little bit. So scoop up that energy, flip, pull it, push it down. Scoop up the energy. Exhale. Push it down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Again, hands are out in front a little bit more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. This time hands are either touching or just facing each other, and we're going up and down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Nice. Shake that out. Okay. Let's go back to those scapular push-ups. Warm up those shoulders even more. They're kind of warm now, but let's now start to get into the strengthening part. So plant your hands. We're looking in between our hands. And again, we can do this from tabletop. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and then open them. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, open. Together, open. Together, open. So we were just working with the up, down. Now we're working with the open, close. Squeeze them together and open. Now hold them together, squeeze. Take a deep breath. Exhale. And then open them, push into the hands. Okay, release and shake it out. Nice, good job. Roll your shoulders up, down, and back. And now roll them the other way. So if you have a wall handy, this would be great to do against a wall because you're going to get some biofeedback where if you lean your shoulders against a wall, you can feel your shoulder blades moving. So before we even start, bring your block out in front and just press your block together. So my arms are straight and I'm leaning against a wall. If you don't have a wall, then do this from the ground. So it would look like this. You're lying on your back, supine, like this. You're gonna get the same action or reaction. So we're leaning against a wall. Our shoulder blades are pressed up against it. Now squeeze them together and open them. Squeeze them together and open. Squeeze them together and open. Nice. Good job. Now, release that. Shake that out. If you're on your back, it's totally cool. Stay on your back. If you're standing, stay standing. Okay, so now, go ahead and look at me for a moment. Place your block on your forearm, and then grip it with that top hand just to hold it in place, and then press it against your other forearm, and then release that top hand. Just make sure it's centered so both of the forearms are in relatively the same space. And then now, I want you to think about your shoulder in line with your elbow, and then opening up those shoulder blades. So press against the surface, open up those shoulder blades, squeeze that block, take a deep breath. Okay, go ahead and release. Shake out that action. So roll your shoulder blades. You're gonna feel it if you kind of press it against the wall or if you're on the ground, and roll them in that opposite direction. Nice, good job. Okay, now take your block and go right back to that same position. So forearms, grip it with your fingertips, and then press against your other forearm. So get about the same height. Now what I want you to do is open up those shoulder blades and then think about lifting up those elbows, up, up, up. So it's like our hand is coming behind us, and then stop where that range of motion where your shoulders are gonna come up by your ears. You'll feel your shoulder blades slowly kind of creeping into that territory. So just stop there. And then exhale, pull it down a little bit further down than, so if we're at shoulder to elbow, we're pulling it down just a little bit more. Pull it down, 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 and then lift it all the way back up, up, up. And we're getting that biofeedback, open shoulder blades. Okay, release. Oh, some of my favorite moves right there. Okay, now, if your traps are like, this is not fun, it's because they are so tight, they're holding your shoulders up. So think about this. If your traps are feeling super tight, let's just all do it together. Bring your shoulders up by your ears and then relax them. And now I want you to pull down with your fingertips. You can do this if you're lying on your back too. Shoulders by the ears, pull them down. Fingertips are pulling. Shoulders by the ears, pull them down. And now hold them down. And then bend at the elbows so that the hands come to this 90-degree angle. And now bring your hands all the way back down. So if you're against a wall, your arms are kind of trying to reach back. And we're trying to hold our shoulder blades in that position as we come into a 90-degree angle. And then bring your hands all the way down. Trying to release those traps. Bring your hands into that 90-degree angle. Hands come all the way back down. Nice. Okay, shake that out. If you are on the ground, come to a seat or to stand. Bring your arms out in front, and then this time we're gonna work with a little rotation. So we're gonna give our shoulder blades a little flossing. So think about coming from the elbow, so even bending the elbow, so flipping it up and down, because what ends up happening is you go from the wrist and you think you're doing something, and really you want it to come from the shoulder. So if I flip my elbow forward, my shoulder will react, and then I'll flip it back. And it might even help doing one at a time so you can kind of feel your shoulder moving in the joint. Like, oh, that's how that moves. And you can do the other side. And then notice if you just do the wrist, how nothing is really happening. Okay, so that's where we're going. And we're gonna start, hands are kind of out to the side, so We're going to do this a few times. Maybe inhale, we flip, exhale, we rotate. And then with every little turn, maybe you go up like a 1/4 inch. So we're just going to slowly lift up the arms until our arms are up and overhead. So we're really kind of trying to floss all angles of the shoulder, just like we do when we do a little neck circle, which we're going to do next. I'm not going to torture your shoulders the entire time, just part of the time. And then keep rolling, 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 all the way up until your hands come together. And like I'm noticing my arms are out in front like this, and that's okay because I really want to focus on that rotation. And if I'm out to the side, I might not get, I might feel a little different. So just notice where your hands end up as you slowly kind of make your way to the top and then make your way all the way back down. And as you go back down, you can go a little bit faster. I'm sure your shoulders are feeling some things right now. Come from the elbows so the whole arm is rotating. Shake it out. Okay, so for our neck circles, I want you to either be seated or standing. Either way is fine. You can bring your hands, palms face up, finding like a mountain posture. We've found mountain a few times in my classes, so find your mountain. And now bring your chin to your right shoulder. That's the words. Chin to right shoulder. So we feel a stretch here along the front of the jawline. And then maybe we lift it up and we find a little rainbow going all the way in that other direction. And then just hold it as the chin comes to the shoulder. And turn the head so the ear now comes towards the shoulder. So left ear, left shoulder. And then let the chin come down all the way to the other side. Now go back. So let that right ear come down. And then let the chin come all the way down. Left ear. Turn towards the left and then lift it all the way up and back. And then right ear comes down. Nice. Now let's work on a little myofascial release. So what I want you to do is grab your block and think about that area of between your neck and your jaw that's like right here, and you take the corner of your block and you place it there, and then you turn your head like this to get a little self-massage, essentially. And we're gonna hang out there on one side for a couple of minutes, maybe a minute or two. So stack your block, come down, line it up, and I even sometimes, so if the block is like this, or over there, so if the block is like this, sometimes it doesn't quite hit, so sometimes I have to turn it, so it's a little bit of an angle to kind of get in there. So get yourself all set up, and it might take a moment to find that spot, and just gently let the head maybe do like a no. You might even find a different corner to hang out on. Every time I do this, I find a different little spot where I'm like, oh, actually that. So it's like the base of the spine, right? So take a moment and just get into that little space. You could even do like a little yes and then a no. We hold a lot of tension in our necks. So giving ourselves permission to like, okay, we just did a lot of stuff.
with the shoulders. So let's just do one more release of the neck to remind our neck that it's safe to release. It's safe to relax. This video is meant to come back. Like, add this into your rotation like once a week and watch how your shoulders and your neck, just like your posture, really could improve so much by doing just these simple little moves every single week. It'll also help yoga, your yoga practice, because what do we need in yoga but open shoulders, less tension in our necks? Okay, go ahead and come out of it. Go to the other side. I know we want to hang out there forever. I'm going to go to the other side, but feel free to hang out there as long as you want and push pause, and then come back to this when you're ready. Okay, so find your spot. Now you kind of know, like, oh, that's what I'm feeling. Try to relax the rest of your body. Like, try to have no tension there. If you're not sure, maybe squeeze some things and then relax. But the goal for this part of the practice is to really kind of settle in to all the work that we've done and let this last bit of neck tension release. Take your deep breaths, just like we did at the beginning of class and throughout class. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. I feel like I got it better on the other side. And just pause and just take a few more breaths. I feel like this type of release could also be super helpful for people who have issues with migraines or headaches, or just that tech neck. We are just so tight in our necks and our shoulders. That next exhale, let's do it from our backs now. We got either side. Now let's do it from the back. So find that little spot at the base of your spine, like right where it meets your skull, and just gently massage it kind of right to left. I'm enjoying it too much. I'm not even saying anything. Oh, that was nice. Okay, so if you'd like to really open up the shoulders for your final little Shavasana, you could bring the block in between the shoulders in this like hot dog, right? The long ways. So if you want to set the block at the top of the mat like that, keeping in mind, if it's uncomfortable or it's not serving you for today, or if it's too much of a chest opener, you don't have to stay in this position. You can also keep your knees bent while you're here. Your arms don't have to open up. They can stay by your sides, and you can just like focus on these shoulders just coming down, kind of like a waterfall effect. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. And also, if it's a little bit too much, you can scoot down a little bit to where like the base of the spine is hitting the block. So your head doesn't have to be as open. You're not in that much of a deep back bend. And I'm going to roll to one side. You can keep the block there if you'd like, or you can remove it, roll to the back, and then let your spine make contact with the mat, maybe for the first time in this class, or maybe a second time, and that's good. Either way is good. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. And this is your Shavasana. Try to let whatever thoughts are coming up in your brain that might be like what you're doing after class, let them just kind of turn into marbles and roll out of your brain, and just take a moment here. We'll just be here for just a breath or two. And then on that next exhale, wiggle fingers and toes, circle out wrists and ankles, maybe both hands reach up and overhead, full body stretch. Move your hips over to one side and then roll on to one side for a little fetal position. That next exhale, push into the ground and then come up into a seat. Something comfortable. Take a moment. Bring your hands to heart center and thank yourself for showing up today and for staying present with this practice. Amazing job, friends. Bring your thumbs to your third eye. The divine light within me honors the divine light within each and every single one of you. Bring your right hand to your left shoulder, left hand to right shoulder. Give yourself a squeeze. Say, thank you, body. Thank you for allowing me to move and breathe today in ways that maybe might be new. And thank you for allowing me to feel all the things. You are awesome. A little shoulder kiss. Mwah, mwah. I love you so much. Your body is amazing. My body is amazing. Have a beautiful day, friends. Mwah. I'll see you on the next one.